after I don't know how many times, I'm going to try this again. If I trip over my tongue, I apologize. As you can see, I'm going to read from my Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. I've already chose the cards, or rather, I have the cards for this reading already, so we will get to it. Listening for truth. Truth speaks to us constantly, but not always in words. It may communicate through a feeling that is hard to put into words, but brings an inexplicable sense of peace, trust, and the knowledge that somehow everything is going to work out perfectly, even if there is little evidence of how it is all going to happen. You are being asked to listen for the truths beneath the words rather than the superficial message of the words themselves. This is especially true for the communications of those around you, the press, the newspapers, and the mass media. You will begin to hear fear in the words and actions of those around you, even as they preach love. Listen deeper. Listen for the truth. This oracle comes with a message of truth for you. You are hearing something that is not being said, and what you are hearing is truthful. You may feel as though you are the only one that is really ready to hear or see it. Perhaps you have been working in a situation or loving in a relationship where truth is consistently denied. We live in a world where truth is frequently avoided out of fear of what it might reveal. At the basis of such actions, consciously or not, is a deep sense of unhealed, toxic shame. If you or someone else is fearful that the truth will expose rather than free and heal, then some personal healing is required. It is time for letting go of old wounds in favor of a greater sense of self-love and acceptance. You are being asked to love yourself enough to honor the truth, even if you feel like you are the only one doing so. Sacred rebels need truth like lungs need oxygen. Truth keeps the energy of life flowing through the rebellious heart. Lies dampen the spirit of the sacred rebel. Even if those with less awakened hearts fear the truth, you must not turn away from it. Don't resent this state of affairs. Perhaps your job is to show that truth can be witnessed, excuse me, even when many may want to hide from it. What others do is always their choice, but through your honorable deeds, done with integrity, you will be set free, no matter what the outcome. You are a truth seeker. Never deny or try to quiet this down to make others comfortable. You are meant to be an agitator at times, even though you don't have to confront people to do it. You don't necessarily have to say a word, though sometimes you will. Often you will agitate in the most loving sense by unveiling truth simply through your knowings. Hold compassion for the truths you behold. Do not use them as knives to cut another, or yourself with harshness, but as a clear insight that allows one to loosen the knots that bind, simply by knowing which thread to gently tug. This oracle brings you guidance. If you have been worn down and depressed by the lies, gossip, deceit, or backstabbing going on around you, don't fret. Get out in nature and spend some time communing with the infinite. Healing will come to you now, no matter how many times, in how many ways, or by how many tongues untruth is spoken. You know what you know in your sacred rebellious heart. That truth is your connection to the living truth of life itself. Don't give up. Just open up to healing and know that the truth always, eventually, prevails. And before I use the wrong choice of words, I didn't choose these cards. These are the cards that fell when I shuffled. The next card is 12. Every journey starts with a single step. You are on a journey. Yes, it is an internal journey, but there is also a physical expression of this journey that is going to become increasingly important to the fulfillment of your destiny in this lifetime. Your journey has started on the inside, but its destination will be the physical expression of an internal healing. This journey will draw upon what you have learned and mastered over the course of your life, so much so that you may feel as though your life experiences have prepared you just for this particular adventure. You have all that you need within you. This is not a time to worry about what you are going to take with you. From within your heart, you will sense what needs to come along for the ride and what is best left behind you now. You may be surprised at exactly how much can be left behind without you feeling concerned or anxious. You will be able to travel far lighter than you ever imagined possible. To be best equipped for this journey, you will need a lightness of heart and the realization that change can be an incredible blessing, even if what you are leaving behind is something you found secure, safe, familiar, or comforting. Just as the butterfly leaves the chrysalis behind when it is time to spread its newly formed wings, so too are you ready to leave behind what once was and embrace what is more appropriate for you at this time. There is an element to the journey you are embarking upon that is unknown. Perhaps it is news to you that you are even taking a journey. Excuse me. However, the realization that traveling along a familiar path brings no guarantees is more likely. This open, unscripted quality to your journey will help you gain the most from your experiences. You see, this journey is a spiritual gift. It is an invitation from the great loving heart of the universe, calling you into something that you would not have otherwise found. You are not supposed to know all the details, nor how it is going to work out, before you set out. You are just meant to take one step after the other, again and again, so that you can receive the gifts that are headed your way. If you are considering taking a physical trip somewhere, this oracle comes as confirmation that the journey will in some way be a life-changing one, and this is good. If the journey you are considering is of a more internal variety, such as exploring a new field of consciousness, beginning a new creative work, or traveling into the void of unknown possibilities in order to start your work, then this oracle is confirmation that it is indeed a wise choice, and much new life will come of it. This oracle brings you a particular guidance that the apparently small steps you are taking in an area of your life important to you right now are actually far more powerful and constructive than you realize. Sometimes we are gaining ground, but the effect is not immediately obvious. This doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It simply means that the effects of your actions are cumulative, and soon they will begin to overflow into the physical world with a positive impact that may surprise you. This oracle brings you the message to keep going. If you have been doing a lot of inner work and are frustrated or concerned that you are not seeing the results translate into the physical world, keep faith, as the physical manifestation of your inner work is coming. Remember that you have all the resources you need, and then some. Your inner and outer journeys are blessed with positive energy, and all you need to do is keep going, one step at a time. Next card is Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. Number 21. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can become difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there's an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly between possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways, and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It is not for those who are lacking in courage and trust, but you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and to drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplant the heart. The role of the mind is to serve the truths of the heart. That is, to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within, you know what to do, and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you the message that a truce will soon be declared, and the appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart, rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything out in advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more relaxed and trusting. There will be a period of adjustment as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create. If you're finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, or you feel that you know less than you have ever known about where you are heading or how you are supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from head to heart. You are not proceeding in error. You are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever, because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to that greater love, you included. And last but certainly not least, it's number 43, Come to Life. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. You are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. It might have a lot to say, and at times it seems very convincing, but it is not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious sacred heart and is living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep, sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling. It might bring joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. It could bring all of these and more. Feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. You might need to paint, write, enact ritual, sing, or dance your feelings to help the energy flow. Don't hold back. Create the space for yourself to do it. In this process, you are uncovering the artistry of the universal creator. You are honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint, and that includes the flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express. You may want You may want to analyze, or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are getting in touch with feeling. Learning how to access your feelings allows you to learn how to access your intuition, creative inspiration, and general internal guidance. These aspects flow from the same place and are often couched within your feelings in the form of emotions as well as physical sensations. The journey underneath the mind and into a sensual emotional connection with your feelings, emotions, and body is for a sacred purpose. It is a part of your path. You are one of the sacred but powerful minority that have chosen to come into a body and live consciously within it. That may seem like it applies to everybody, but when you experience it for yourself, you will realize that this is actually rather rare. There are plenty of bodies without a spirit really residing within to care for, love, and honor them as a sacred animal. Fortunately, this minority is powerful enough that it can keep human culture in balance, but only just. We need every single one of us that is capable to be aware of the task and move beyond the mind and into the body. This is especially so if you have drawn the oracle of Beyond the Mind the Heart Beats. You may feel drawn to read the guidance of that oracle once you have completed the healing process below to support you on this part of your life path. To come into your sensuality, you will need to anchor your experiences. You may be blessed with relationships that are conscious enough to be interested in your journey in a constructive rather than controlling or undermining way. If so, talk, converse, share. If not, then you will need to be more resourceful in how you support yourself through your awakening process, at least until you attract some more conscious connections into your life. It is likely that these connections are already on their way, just because you are working with the energy of this oracle deck. This is especially so if you have also drawn the conscious connections or collaborative dreaming cards, or feel inspired to read one or both of these messages after you have completed the healing process below. You can support your own process by scheduling time for yourself and keeping to it like you would the most important date with destiny. So get to writing in your journal, do your dances, paint your pictures, create your creations. Be kind to your body, listen to it, and let it be alive. Even in times of pain, know that there will always be ecstasy and bliss as the process of healing and awakening continues. The message of this oracle is, be alive. Don't imagine you can go back to sleep. You are too awake for that now. There is no falling back into old ways. If you do so, it will be short-lived and won't feel the same as it used to. You may grieve this. You will certainly, eventually, celebrate it. You have crossed the threshold from an old way of being in an old life, and try as you might, you cannot return. It is better to let it go. Grieve if needs be, celebrate if needs be, or do both and move on into this moment. There is another adventure awaiting you now. You need a deeper connection to your own instincts, body, feelings, and intuitions so that you can receive this new calling. You can trust in it too. Embrace it, and it will embrace you. So yeah, there's my first reading for all of you. I hope that this resonated or rang true to you in some way, shape, or form. As the cards said, and were reminding me, there are healing processes included with these cards. If you feel as though you want one for any particular card, please let me know and I will send you that healing process for you. No problem. I just didn't include it because these cards are not going to resonate for everybody. So whoever they do resonate for, I will gladly give you the healing process for that card. You might have noticed that I don't say I perform a reading because I don't perform readings, because to me performing means I'm acting, and I'm not acting. What I'm doing is I am reading the messages that Spirit has for everybody, whatever that may be for you. I don't dull it down by simplifying the card meaning. I simply read whatever message is there for you from the heart. Thank you for joining me this first time, and hopefully this will be the start of many more. Thank you. I hope everybody takes care. Blessings be.